Hello there! Welcome to my show, COVID-19 Update by Heerak for December 22nd, 2020. Today is National Cookie Exchange Day. As you know, I graduated from Georgetown University with a master's in um, clinical nurse leader. Um, so we are trained to be leaders of hospital units, horizontal leaders, meaning we work within the context of a hospital unit, and we are trained to make the unit more efficient as a horizontal leader. So we're different from vertical leaders, like nurse managers who are vertical leaders, um, and you know. So we're horizontal leaders. So we lead horizontally rather than vertically. So that is our training. It's a 2 years a master's program as clinical nurse leader. We are trained in that way. I'm nationally certified as a clinical nurse leader in all 50 states and Washington, D.C., and all the U.S. territories, all the U.S. military bases, all the U.S. embassies around the world. If I were to practice in any of these places, I would practice as a clinical nurse leader, which is my national certification. So I'm professionally trained to be a horizontal leader, as are all the clinical nurse leaders who are trained in clinical nurse leader programs. There are 25 of us who graduated from Georgetown in Masters in Clinical Nurse Leader program. And many of us are working in hospitals throughout America. Uh, and so one person who actually came from Minnesota, um, Mila Whitico, she's now working Washington Hospital Center, and she's gotten the job that she really wants. So she's really happy there, and she is actually more famous to us for her cookies. So when I think about National Cookie Exchange Day, I think about Neela from Minnesota because she is amazing baker. She knows how to make like amazing cookies. Um, and she makes cookies for us, So she would bring cookies like and share it with us and brighten up our day. So for 2 years, Neela brought us like cookies, and yeah, Neela's an amazing woman. She's from Minnesota. She did her bachelor's degree in social work, and then she worked as a social worker for several years, and then came and did her master's in nursing, clinical nurse leader, my program, which is a 2 year intensive program. And I really like Neela. She's a smart woman. Um, she has a pretty heart, and she's pretty, physically as well. But she's smart. She's really smart. So yeah, she's from Finland. In Europe. There's a debate as to whether Finland is Scandinavian country or not. Because Norway, Denmark, Sweden are seen as Scandinavian countries, and some don't think that Finland is a Scandinavian country because the language is more like Hungarian. So some people think of Finland as more Slavic or similar ethnic group as Hungarians. Um, as it's fairly north, and further north you go, you're closer to like former USSR. Um, and obviously Russians are Slavic people. And so Scandinavians are kind of different from Slavic, although both of them can be blonde haired and blue eyed. So but it's kind of interesting, these kind of theories that surround ethnicity and identity. And Mila is really attractive. She's blonde hair and blue eyed, and she's very attractive, and she's really smart. So Washington Hospital Center is really blessed to have her there. Um, yeah, but whenever I think of cookies, I think of Mila. Her cookies are just amazing. I told her to go into business because I think she could start like Mila's cookies or something, or Taste of Finland. I don't know, Mila's Taste of Finland. She could probably make billions, millions of dollars, creating cookies. She could create a cookie empire. That's what I'm thinking. But I don't know. Neela, I guess for Neela, it's more like a hobby, but you know, um, yeah. But I'm sure she's making cookies for people at Virginia, or not Virginia, Washington Hospital Center. So they probably love her to death. But especially during Christmas time. So I want to say hello to Neela, my classmate from Georgetown University, Master in Clinical Nurse Leader program, who is amazing at cookies. Thank you for your cookies that you shared with all of us, and cakes that you shared with all of us. They're amazing. Every single one was amazing. So thank you. Happy memories. Although, I don't know when the next time will be when I could taste your cake or cookies. So it's a little bumming. I miss your cookies. I miss you too, but I miss your cookies. you know. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So hello to Neela and everybody in my program who graduated with me on August 24, 2020 from Georgetown University Masters in Clinical Nurse Leader program. I tell you, way to a man's heart is through his stomach. You know the saying. It's absolutely true. Men love food. If you remember, Jacob and Esau, they competed for the blessing of their father, Isaac. And Isaac blessed his son. He was kind of blind, so he blessed the wrong son. After having the stew, and Jacob and his mother, colluded and tricked his father into giving Jacob the blessing and not Esau. I mean, what kind of mom is that? Having playing favorites. But it does happen in families, right? But food is not important. People do all kinds of stuff for food. Um, and for men, most men, the way to their heart is through their stomach. It is absolutely true. Um, yeah, you know, yeah. Yeah, a woman who can cook. There's like, if she's attractive, I mean, geez, it's like you're helpless. you know, you just like fall in love. She's attractive and can cook. But God is fair. A lot of attractive women can cook for some reason. I don't know why that is, but you know. So I guess God's fair, right? If attractive women can cook well, I mean, geez, all the guys are like helpless. you know. But for some men, it's like, attractive women who can't cook, unattractive women who can cook. I don't know. I mean, some guys actually seriously think about that because you have to eat 3 meals a day, right? And for the rest of your life, and obviously, you don't want to get divorced. So if you marry somebody who can't cook, you have to like lie and say you like the food for the rest of your life. Just a lie every day. you know what I mean? So, and you can't not eat your wife's food. So, there's the quandary. Anyway, yeah. But happy National Cookie Exchange Day. I'm sure all of you watching this show who are in our program, cohort 2020 clinical nurse leaders, I'm sure all of you remember how great Mila's cookies were. Mila from Minnesota. I wonder if a lot of women in Minnesota can bake a lot of good cookies. I don't know. I'm from Pennsylvania. I remember, my sister's best friend, and classmate from University of Pennsylvania, Jesselyn Bird. Her father was like a big shot CEO of some kind, like cable company. Um, and she went to University of Pennsylvania and were roommates with my sister for like 3 years. And so Jesselyn Bird, um, she used to make cookies and it was amazingly good. She was pretty, Jesselyn Bird. I don't know why I didn't make a move on her. It's like she and my sister were like roommates and they're really close. And Jesselyn loved kimchi. She would, uh, she would put kimchi in the refrigerator and just eat it. So like, and she was pretty. Jesselyn Bird was pretty, although she was rank one and my sister was rank one. They tied for rank one. Very smart. Um, and I guess I should have made a move because I was attracted to her. Once did that come out? I'm not gonna lie. I may die of COVID-19. Uh, or you may die of COVID-19. And there's no point lying. So Jesseline, she's really. I thought she was pretty. In my opinion, she's really pretty. And she's my sister's roommate, and uh, yeah, I should have probably made a move. Asked her out on a date or something, but I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking too much about Jewish studies. You know what I'm saying? My love of Jewish studies. That's why I'm one of the greatest experts of Jewish studies because I was like totally pinpoint focused on Jewish studies research. So I became best at it around the world. But yeah, Jessica was a roommate of my sister for 3 years. I had 3 years to make a move, make her mine. I don't know why I didn't do it. It was stupid of me because I liked her. And I think she was attracted to me too. Um, yeah, but okay, everything is 2020 in hindsight. And she's like, she's an intelligent woman. She was a history major, ended up going to Oxford University with a Thoron scholarship. My sister she was like semifinalist, and Jesselyn Burr became a finalist as she went to Oxford with a Thoron scholarship. And then she was going to go for 2 years, but she ended up getting her PhD from Oxford and ended up marrying a guy from Oxford, you know, some British guy. I don't know if it's royalty or nobility or not, but I don't know. Jesselyn may have some kind of noble or royal blood. I think she's like daughters of American Revolution, so she was like perfect for me. But I don't remember if she's blonde though. I think she's more like maybe dirty blonde or brunette. Yeah, I think she's more like brunette. Um, I don't think she had blue eyes. Most people at Philmont Christian Academy have blue eyes. Ed Mosa, my best friend from Philmont Christian Academy, told me, true white people have blue eyes. I don't know, something like that. We were like seventh graders, eighth graders. So he said, like, if you don't have blue eyes in the white world, you're not considered truly white. That's what he said. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm Korean. I only know Korean stuff, but I don't know. Is that true? If you're a white person out there, maybe you could let me know. Do you need to have like blue eyes to be truly white? I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, they say that like if you have brown eyes, they're not sure if you're white or not. That's what Ed said. I was like, really? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't say I'm Korean. I'm Asian American. I know I can speak about Asian stuff with confidence, but I'm not white. None of my relatives are white. So, although one of my cousins married a white boy, you know, one of my first cousins married a white boy. Um, but yeah, but it's like pretty distant. So, I may marry a white girl. Maybe she'll teach me a lot of stuff, like inside stuff. Um, you know, I mean, I have a lot of white friends and stuff, but most people hide their true self, right? I mean, they don't really reveal their self, even with their friends, they put their guard up. So, but anyway, um, yeah. So, yeah. But how do we get into that topic? Yeah, Jesselyn Bird. She's like, she had everything. Like thinking back, I don't know why I didn't pursue her. It doesn't make sense. You know, because she's pretty. She was thin. You know, I like thin women. She was like what, 5 foot, 5'7" or 5'8", 110 pounds. She's thin and pretty. She's smart. Um, she loved kimchi, so I'm sure she, my mom would have liked her. My mom would be like, if you're gonna marry a white woman, marry somebody like her. I don't know. I didn't talk to my mom about it. She's pretty ethnocentric. She likes Korean women. She wants me to marry a Korean woman. Hi, mom. She only speaks Korean, so she probably can't understand the show. Don't translate for her. Yeah, dad, don't translate for her. Or my sisters don't translate for mom. If she can't understand English. She only speaks Korean. So, but yeah, my mom wants me to marry a Korean girl, but that's like marry anybody who loves Jesus. But he doesn't care if she's black or white or Hispanic or Korean or Chinese, Vietnamese, Cambodian. He doesn't care. But yeah, but as long as she's Christian, though, he does care about that. But I didn't marry a non-Christian anyway. I mean, if I fall in love with a Muslim woman, she has to convert to become Christian for me to marry her. Same with Jewish women or Hindu women or Buddhist women. If they don't become Christian, there's no deal. Yeah, Christians cannot marry non-Christians. According to the Bible. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, but anyway, Jesselyn, she's pretty. She was smart. She loved kimchi. She got along with my sister. She was roommate for 3 years with my sister. Um, and the reason why they weren't roommates for 4 years is because first year, wait, one of the years I think they were alone. Like she was alone and my sister was alone. But the 3 years that they had roommates, they were roommates together. And they were both history majors. They both focused on medieval history. They both competed for Thor Award. It's funny, right? Um, yeah, they're like, I mean, like, she's pretty, she's thin and pretty. And yeah, she's a nice person too. She's a very nice person. I'm sure she's still a nice person. But it's like that. Life is like that. Sometimes you just have to seize the moment. I don't know why, the thing is, my love for Jewish studies blinded me. I was so focused on studying Jewish studies, becoming great at Jewish studies, you know. Yeah, sometimes, your pursuit of knowledge can blind you, you know. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I guess I do have some regrets. 'Cause I think, I think, I think she's very happy. She married a, she married a nice guy from England, but yeah. But anyway, life is like that. Life goes quickly and things pass by, and then some women are, they're spinsters before they know it. They're like 18, and then you know, a snap later they're like spinsters. These things happen. Um, yeah, life is like that. Life goes by very fast. Um, so you gotta seize what you want. Whether you're a boy or a girl, because life passes you by like this. You don't want to live with regrets. I mean, I was in love with Jewish studies, so it's hard because maybe I should. Maybe it would have been better had I not been so much in love with Jewish studies. I'd have probably gone far more. I'd have probably, if I hooked up with Jesselyn, I'd probably married her. Like when she graduated from Penn, we probably got married. You know, but anyway, life is like that. Life goes by fast. Um, I remember in high school, her brother used to drive to school in Porsche 928. Really, really nice Porsche. It's like red. And then her brother, that was a time when people were into like four by fours with all those lights. So her brother got one of those. And then he ended up going to West Point, you know, John Bird. Wait a minute, but he didn't like West Point, so he actually dropped out of West Point because he didn't like it, and then ended up going to University of Maryland. Yeah, but John Bird, he used to date Naomi Ishihara. Yeah, Reverend Ishihara's daughter, Naomi, the first daughter, they were dating in high school at Philmont. And we were like convinced they'll get married, but they ended up not getting married. Um, yeah, they kind of parted ways after graduation. And hi, Naomi. Hi, Murray. Reverend Ishihara's daughter. Reverend Ishihara is a Japanese minister, Presbyterian. And he and my dad made an agreement to carpool. So, like, my dad would pick up Reverend Ishihara's daughters, and then in the afternoon, Reverend Ishihara would drive his daughters and us back home, and we kind of lived close, really close to each other in Philadelphia. And Reverend Ishihara was the senior pastor of a Japanese Presbyterian church in Philadelphia. I think it was like the biggest Japanese Presbyterian church. And my dad has was a senior pastor of one of the biggest Korean Presbyterian churches. Yeah, yeah. But John Bird's father was like a CEO or some kind of executive with a cable company in Pennsylvania. What cable companies are in Philadelphia? I don't know. I don't know these things. But yeah, some big cable company. It was like becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. So John Bird's father was getting richer and richer and richer. you know, uh, I guess they give you stocks and stuff if you're like an executive. But anyway, yeah, life is like that. So you don't want to miss out on life. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I've known a lot of wealthy women. I've even dated a lot of like millionaires and billionaire women, like the heirs, like their parents were billionaires and millionaires. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. But anyway, yeah. So, hey Mila, thank you for your cookies. Sometimes when you think about Mila, you think about like because she's Scandinavian, maybe. That singing group. Thanks for the music. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I don't know. that ABBA ABBA band. Yeah, like one of the singers kind of. Well, actually, she doesn't look like Mila. Mila's much thinner. She's kind of like Jesselyn Bird. She may even be thinner than that. Maybe she's like less than 110 pounds. She's really thin. But anyhow, anywho, yeah. So, yeah, hi everyone in my program, clinical nurse leader program. Yeah. So, yeah, there were three guys: me, Grant Allen, Billy Sneed. Grant Allen is from North Carolina. Billy Sneed is from Texas. He's graduate of U.S. Naval Academy, 20 years in the Navy as an officer. And Grant Allen just graduated from college. His sister did our program, his older sister. And then because of that, I guess he came to Georgetown. He came with his girlfriend. He's an interior decorator. They're now in South Carolina. Billy is still here, but he wants to go to Texas. But he was telling us that like these Texan hospitals were not hiring him. I'm like, what the heck, man? He's like one of the smartest guys we know. What's going on in Texas? But I don't know. I don't think Billy was trying that hard. I think he ultimately wants to work in a VA hospital, Virginia, like a veterans hospital. But I don't know. I mean, there's one right in Washington, D.C., maybe he can work there. But he wants to be back in Texas with his family, though. They have a family farm. E-I-E-I-O. Or McDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. Uh, Billy Sneed had a farm in Texas. E-I-E-I-O. Hey, Billy. Yeah. But anyway, we had a great group, political nurse leaders. I know we're going to have some people die, but before June in our group from COVID. It's kind of expected with all these deaths. So I want to just do a cheer. CNO, CNO, Georgetown, yay! You may die from COVID-19, but you can say you died of Hoya, yay! Hey, think about like your tombstone. What are you going to write? Like epitaph you're going to write in there. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess like what I would want in my tombstone is probably like to live is Christ, to die is gain. I really like that quote from St. Paul. To live is Christ, to die is gain. Because if there's a tombstone, I'm in heaven, living it up with Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know that epitaph sounds good. I mean, I know I'm stealing from St. Paul, but I mean, I can't do better than that. You know what I'm saying? So sorry, St. Paul, I'll be there. If there's a tombstone on me, I'll be there with you. So can't get offended or anything. Um, yeah. But yeah, have a cookie. It's Christmas time. Too bad you haven't tasted Neela's cookies. Oh, you don't know what you're missing out. Neela's cookies. Oh my gosh. Um, yeah. So I thought I'd introduce you to some of my friends from Cambridge. I knew a lot of women. What can I say? Uh, there are a lot of attractive women, and you want to get to know them. And if they're willing, spend some time with them. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, I mean, life is too short. I'm not married. I've never been married. I don't have any children. Um, so, I mean, I was single and I was looking for someone to love and share the rest of my life with. And obviously, you do that generally by getting to know each other. So I tried, but I don't know what happened. I don't know. Some people think like you tried too hard. You should have just stuck with like Busy, one woman. Busy Cole, the 18 or 19-year-old that I met. Like I met her when she was a freshman first year at Cambridge. Like I think I told you the story about it in one of my episodes. I went into the history library and I saw really, really pretty woman from a distance. So I walked over there across the room. I sat down like not right in front of her because that could be intimidating for a woman, but like a little bit diagonally, far enough that she's not intimidated, but close enough that she could steal a glance, when she's reading at the book, look sideways a little bit in that direction or something. Um, so she could check me out. Um, and then, I start chatting with her the first time our eyes met. And we're sitting there, and she was a perfect stranger, obviously. I've never seen her before in my life. But she was pretty, and I like attractive women. So, so I said, well, so I asked her, I said, hey, you want to meet up for lunch? I don't know what I said exactly. I don't remember. But I asked for her contact information. She gave me her phone number and her email. So this was before I knew that she went to my church. I didn't know she went to my church. Um, so I started, so I got her number and then we started, and like we went out for stuff, hanging out, and yeah, and she was like, I guess, I didn't really ask her age, but she was first year student at Cambridge, so I guess like 18 or 19. She was pretty, and she's taller than me, really, really taller than me. She's like 6 foot. She must be like 6 foot tall, maybe taller than 6 foot. Yeah, she was like this much taller than me. I had to look up at her. Every time I talked to her, I looked up at her. I like looking up at women. I always look for women who are more intelligent than me. I have a hard time finding it, but whenever I can find women who are more intelligent than me or taller than me, I like it. Uh, I like, I feel comfortable with women who are taller, smarter, like billions of dollar wealthier than me. I feel totally comfortable. Women, I've known women who have like several doctorates. They seem to like me too. I don't know why, but so I remember when I went to a conference and I sat at a table with all these female professors in world's leading universities. I was giving a paper, I think on Jewish studies or something, or history. And the female professors, were sitting on my table. They're like, "Oh, you're such a charmer." They went around and around. I'm like, "I don't know. I don't think I'm a charmer. I don't know." But they seem to like me. But anyway, I don't know. I don't know how women think. So yeah. But anyway, yeah. Every time I go to a conference, I have like a lot of female professors who like me, who like to hang out with me. It's like kind of like my groupies, in academic conferences. Uh, yeah, I should call them groupies. That sounds so bad. But some of these professors, you just see them, they're amazing. They're like smart, beautiful, funny. Uh, you know, yeah. I mean, you'd be surprised. There's some amazingly attractive people who are pretty and smart. But anyway, yeah. Um, so these are women I knew at Cambridge. I was at Jesus College. I'm still a member of Jesus College. Um, yeah, if we didn't have COVID-19, I was going to ask somebody from my program to go to Mabel with me to Jesus College because they have these like ball, summer ball that starts like 5 p.m. and goes till like starts at 5 p.m. and goes till like 8 a.m. all night long. You have fun stuff, you have dancing, food. It's like a Cinderella ball, but Cinderella leaves at midnight, but it goes all the way to the morning. So I was going to ask one of the girls from my master's in clinical nurse leader program to go with me for Mayball, in 2020 summer. But I even had a girl picked out that I was going to ask. But I mean, obviously, I think it's asked because but anyway, yeah, I mean, we'd have probably gone as like, friends because like all 25 of us are friends, but she's pretty, so who knows? I mean, things can develop, I mean, you're always open to that when you're not married, then I mean, she's single, things can happen. But anyway, oh well, I guess that will never happen, unfortunately, because of COVID-19. But oh well, what can you do? Who knows? But life is like that. But yeah, but I'm glad I got to enjoy it when I was in Cambridge. Yeah, so I've yeah, but on the other hand, I know what I'm missing out on. So that's bad too. You know what I mean? But yeah, like you see how attractive these women are. There are a lot of pretty women in the world. There are a lot of really, really attractive women in the world. Um, yeah, and that's why I think like if I were not Christian, born again Christian, I will not marry. I mean, I want to be honest with you. If I did not believe that Jesus existed, that Jesus is God, and the 10th commandment is a law by which we're supposed to live, that you're supposed to marry one woman and be married to the rest of your life. If I weren't a Christian, believing in the Bible, I would not get married. I don't see the point. There's so many attractive women. What's the point in marrying one of them? I don't I don't understand. I mean, I've fallen in love with a lot of different women throughout my life. I think most men do. Um, it's hard for men to stay in love with just one woman. That's why Christian religion forces a man to be married to one woman and love her, whether he feels like it or not. So Christianity, is probably good for marriage and humanity and families, right? Um, but yeah, I tell you, I'm not gonna lie to you because, as I said, this COVID-19 America. I may die before June. You may die before June. There's no point lying. I fallen in love with many different women, and I think I would have been equally happy had I married any one of those many women I fell in love with throughout my life. Um, yeah, I'm sure I would have been equally happy with any one of them. Whoever I married, like whatever, which one, like like the women here, most of them, I'm sure I would have been, I would be happy married the rest of my life with had I married them. You know, they're very attractive. You know, yeah. But anyway, yeah, life is like that. Life is, you know, it's about decision. Who do you decide to marry determines the rest of your life. It's more of a decision. It's an action rather than a feeling because you feel for many people when you decide. It goes for women too. Woman decides, I want him to be my husband for the rest of my life, and then she acts on that decision. Just like men can too. But men are kind of pretty bad about. Yeah, men are pretty bad. They're not very decisive. Men. Women are, I think, more decisive than men. I think women are. I think they know what they want far more than the men. Men are kind of. They don't really know what they want, which is a problem, right? But men are kind of immature that way. I think all men, they don't. They're not always sure, and that's why a smart woman generally gets the man. She knows what she wants, and she works to get it. Um, but not all women are the same, just like not all men are the same, right? In that way too. In the last 24 hours, we had 3,395 deaths, right? You know what they say? Love is a battlefield, right? I mean, I can only marry one woman, and that woman can only marry one man, right? So, ABBA, the singing group from Scandinavia, they have a song, right? What do they say? Winner takes it all. Is that a song that they sang? Winner takes all. But that's love is like that. Love is a battlefield. Love is a competition because the winner takes it all, right? Right? Because think about it. Winner takes everything. That's what love is about that. There's a lot of pain and heartache in love because winner takes it all, like ABBA sang. And then there'll be a lot of losers who didn't win. That's how life is. Like second, a wedding, the bride tosses the flower, and only one woman catches that, right? Well, in some weddings, several women fight for the flower. You're like, but generally, you catch the bouquet, and that's you, right? And hopefully, you get married next. The time passes not like this. Before you know it, you become a spinster. Life is like that. So there are 3,395 deaths in America in 24 hours. So total of 322,585 deaths. Some of you are going to die before without being able to get married, which is really sad, but that's so true. There are 18,217,159 cases. Less than 10% of America have got infected. You're not going to have herd immunity. It's not going to happen. The infection rate is fast, but too slow for herd immunity to happen. Um, but although we are dying in large numbers in America, there are countries with zero death from the beginning of the pandemic to now, zero death. So I've listed several countries here. It's just a snapshot because there are far more than these countries which have zero death in their country. Laos, some of you may know Laos. It's like kind of like Vietnam. There are 46 cases, zero death from the very beginning. Seychelles, that's in Africa. It's an island where a lot of French people go for honeymoon. That's where Serge Gourmand, my best friend from Hebrew University of Jerusalem in Israel, French Jewish guy who immigrated to Israel, made Aliyah. That's where he wanted to go for his honeymoon. Um, Seychelles Island. He and his mother and sister and brother and father went there. He loved it. And I saw the photos. They're amazing photos. Uh, yeah, they have 205 cases for 0 deaths. Cambodia is number 3. Um, really Cambodia. It's a pretty famous country. Most people know it. 363 cases. That's it since the beginning. 0 death. 0 death. Mongolia has 1,006 cases. You know, Mongolia, it's a pretty big nation. Or it's like a state within China, but Mongolians are their own ethnic group, distinct from like ethnic Chinese. So Mongolians are there 1,006 people. And you know, you've tried Mongolian beef, right? Uh, if you go to buffet, you put it in a bowl all the raw stuff like the beef and the you know all kinds of raw stuff, and they cook it for you in a big wok. That's like it's not really a wok. They generally cook it for you in a flat surface, and they give you in a bowl. That's Mongolian beef. Um, yeah, so Mongolia is a big country. 1,006 cases, 0 death. And I thought I would include the Holy See. Is the Holy See a country? I don't know. But 27 people have gotten it, but 0 have died so far in the Holy See. So I put a star there because it's not really a country, but it kind of is a country. It's kind of hard to say. And as you know, I went to Georgetown University, which is a Catholic university, and there are a lot of liberal progressives who wanted to like attack me. But the Jesuit brothers protected me, and all these devout Catholics at Georgetown protected me. So, I feel, loved at Georgetown. All these devout Catholics protecting me. Love bubble, protecting me from all these liberal progressives who are trying to destroy me. I don't know if they were trying to destroy me or not. I'm just like saying that, but yeah, I mean, I got attacked a lot for my positions because I believe in Jesus. I believe in the Bible. I believe Jesus is the savior of the world. Some people just attack you if you say that. And I get attacked a lot by these liberal progressive. But, devout Catholics protected me, both professors, staff, and, also students, and so, yeah, I feel the love. That's why I'm wearing a Georgetown mask, Georgetown shirt. Uh, yeah, I mean, what goes around comes around, right? Yeah. I mean, I love to marry a Catholic woman. When I was in England, they're all Protestant, like Church of England, or, most of them are like Church of England. But I think Catholic women are beautiful. Like Catholic women, especially Irish Catholic women. I love the way Irish Catholic women look. Um, yeah, like redhead with green eyes or blue eyes, with blonde hair with like blue eyes. Yeah, it's amazing, beautiful blonde hair, the Catholic women at Georgetown. Some of them I've got to know. Um, yeah, but anyway, yeah, who knows? Maybe I'll end up marrying a devout Catholic from Georgetown. Like or some Catholic woman who go to mass every day. Yeah, there are Catholic women like that. Like Koreans, they do that too similarly. So there's similarities between like devout Irish Catholic women and Korean Christian women. So yeah, who knows? Let's see what God has in store for me. But yeah. Um, so let's see if these countries can keep a zero death. Winter is coming, so it'll be kind of interesting to see. So today we're looking at UK's COVID mutant increased deaths. Um, because England has this like fast spreading mutant COVID, and a lot of countries are preventing planes from leaving England for their countries because obviously COVID travels through people. Um, yeah. Um, but it is Merry Christmas. It is Christmas, but it is COVID Christmas, COVID-19 Christmas. Um, so a lot of countries are blocking out England because most of them are going to be tourists, right? I mean, why would English people travel to France for tourism? Why would English people travel to like Germany for tourism? So they're trying to block out tourists, right? Bringing COVID-19 over Christmas season. It's like not too many people who are English are married to Germans. Not too many people who are English are married to French. So it's not like they're coming to visit their family. You know what I mean? It's not like America. Everybody's like all over the place. In Europe, they still are kind of divided country to country. They marry their own. People marry their own. But in America, we are one nation under God, right? So there are 50 states. But there's people marrying all over the place because we're one nation. It's like people in France marry people from all over France. Um, yeah. So so the first article kind of focuses on that. I mean, New York is worried about COVID-19, the new mutant strain coming to New York and just wiping out the population, which can happen, obviously. So the article title is Two Airlines Meet Cuomo's Ask to Test UK Flyers to Fly New York Amid New Contagious COVID Strain Fears. So that was an article from yesterday for NBC New York staff. So the significant quote from that is of three airlines that fly people from the UK to New York daily have agreed to ensure travelers provide a negative COVID test before departing for the Empire State amid heightened concerns over a more infectious virus strain that recently emerged in the European country. Governor Andrew Cuomo said Monday. Cuomo made the ask of British Airways, Delta, and Virgin Atlantic, which transfer thousands of people between the UK and JFK Airport daily. He said British Airways agreed first, pledging to launch the new testing requirement Tuesday, Cuomo said. He vowed to pursue other options if the other two didn't follow suit. A short time later, the governor tweeted that Delta had also agreed to require pre-departure COVID tests before passengers leave the UK for New York. I mean, that seems reasonable. You don't want New York flooded with people with new strain of COVID, right? So it makes logical sense. Second article, Britain cut off by Canada and others as new COVID strain spreads. Alexander Smith, NBC News, December 21st, 2020. The important part is dozens of countries, including Canada, France, Germany, Israel, Iran, Colombia, and Morocco, have suspended flights from the UK for 48 hours or more. Saudi Arabia has closed its borders and suspended all flights, regardless of destination origin. Small country. You gotta shut down if you wanna block COVID out, right? Completely. In Britain, there was already chaos on highways and in train stations and grocery stores. People have been packing on to trains to avoid new domestic restrictions announced by Johnson, that's Prime Minister Johnson, and stocking up on essentials in fear of possible shortages. Like food can run out. It's true. You can run out, it does happen. Yeah, you should probably stock up on food. Um, Third article, US health officials, they say no need to ban flights from UK even as it battles new coronavirus variant. Now you see why we have so many COVID-19 deaths. You know what I'm saying? If you don't take precautions, of course it's going to go out of hand. You see, this is the kind of attitude that makes America number one for COVID-19 death, right? You cannot take this kind of cavalier attitude, right? When 3,000 plus people are dying every day, it's just ridiculous. But I would, if our president, I would shut down every single flight from London, from England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. I wouldn't let any plane arrive, fly into America from these areas, port cities. Um, yeah, so let's read the article. U.S. health officials said they do not yet see a need to halt flights from the United Kingdom, even as a growing number of other countries ban British travelers amid the rapid spread of a new variant of coronavirus in London and elsewhere. Experts have warned, however, that even if the variant is not more lethal, it will likely lead to an increase in infections, hospitalizations, and virus-related deaths. Um, yeah, so there you have it. Um, yeah, um, yeah, yeah. People are still researching and trying to find out what the lethal nature of the new variant is. Nobody really knows yet. It's so new. Well, I guess we'll be finding out in the weeks to come. But yeah, I will bring you more important data tomorrow because obviously you have to be informed about what's going on. You have to make decisions knowing what's out there, right? So yeah, so I'll bring you more helpful information. So you're lucky that this show exists to give you information you need, and more importantly, the analysis that you need, right? Expert analysis. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Yeah. So I hope that you'll be well, and that your family will be well too. Bye.